What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday afternoon. Had a little bit of time. Figured I'd jump on live both to my YouTube channel and to the Mythic Legions Cabal to do a quick live stream, to do a quick kind of Q&A, AMA, ask me anything. Can't say I'll answer anything, but I figured it'd be fun to jump on and answer some questions about LegionsCon 2022. Specifically, some of the comments I've been seeing, some of the questions I've been seeing regarding the show itself, regarding the hotel. So the venue that we're in, seeing some people saying that it's sold out when it's not. I know why they're finding that. So I figured I'd go through that, answer some questions, and show some stuff. So this is honestly pretty loose. I have a few things that I definitely want to show and explain to people. But as I said, I'm also here for you. I'm also here to ask questions, to answer questions. So if you are interested in LegionsCon 2022, whether you are going already and you have some questions about specific things, or whether you're on the fence and you're not sure and you have some questions, that is literally what I am here for. So let's see here. Hit me up in the chat. That's where the questions are going to be. I'm going to answer some of those. Mindless Focus saying, what would the Unknowns theme song be? It'd have to be death metal for sure. That'd probably be a better question for Bill in terms of what the Unknown Ones theme song will be. I'd like to think that he wouldn't have a theme song because you would never see him coming and the theme song would announce his entrance. Peter, no, tickets are not transferable to anybody else. So if you buy the ticket and you can't make it, you'd have to reach out to us to kind of see what we can do for that. But they are not transferable because you do have to have the phone and everything there. You're going to have to pick up your badge and stuff. Mindless Focus saying hotel is not sold out and you can still upgrade your room. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll actually take a minute and I'll show that now while people are jumping on board. Let me see here. Okay, so this is the website for the La Quinta in Secaucus, New Jersey. This is where we are doing the show. I think some of the problems that people are having is they're not reading all the instructions. So if you go to the La Quinta Inn website and you put in the dates of Friday, November 4th through Sunday, November 6th, as you can see on the screen right here, it says the hotel is unavailable for the dates that you have selected. That's kind of confusing because it's actually not unavailable. The reason it is showing that is because we booked the whole darn hotel, or most of it. We've booked so many rooms to have for LegionsCon attendees that if you go to the website right now and try to book it without the discount code, there are no rooms open for them to be able to give you. I do see some questions coming in. I'm going to scroll back in just a minute. So if you just go there, it's not going to have any rooms. And that's why I think people are saying that they are not seeing, that they're thinking it's sold out. If instead you do this, so I'm going to go to LegionsCon.com, which is, the website for the event. If you go to LegionsCon.com, you click right at the top here where it says venue. That'll tell you all about the venue. It's got all this information that you can call the venue itself, but it's also got this link. You can click here to be taken to the hotel website with the LegionsCon code apply. If you do that, you're going to see that it brings you right in and it applies the code. You can see right here where it says that the LegionsCon code is applied. So the LegionsCon discount, a king room is going to run you $179 a night. A room with 2 queen beds is going to run you $199 a night. But as you can see, there are still rooms available. There's not a lot of rooms. We've sold out most of our block of rooms. And as we just saw on the main website, once those block of rooms is gone, the hotel is sold out because they don't have any rooms left that aren't in our block. Now, I will say this, you don't need to stay at the hotel. Let me be very, very clear. Staying at the venue hotel is not the cheapest option around. There are less expensive hotels. If you stay at the hotel, it does we don't get money from that. Like the show creators, myself and Joe, we're not getting money from the hotel when you book your rooms there. So whether you book the La Quinta and stay in the venue hotel, or you book down the road, I think there's enough people staying at a Red Roof Inn that's fairly close. It doesn't matter to us either way. We still are thrilled to have you at the event. Basically, what you're paying for if you're in the venue is the convenience of being right there at the con. The fact that you can go right upstairs to your room in the middle of the day if you want to drop off some goodies, or if you want to take a nap or whatever. That's super cool. I'm not going to lie. That's the ability to do that is really, really neat. So there's definitely some benefits there. But either way, very, very clear. Book wherever you want. Don't stay overnight. Drive in. Whatever works for you. If you're at LegionsCon, that's what's most important. Okay, let's see. Going back to the questions. So someone on Facebook, by the way, when you comment, I can't see your name. So when someone makes a comment, I won't know who you are. But someone on Facebook said no problems booking. That's great to hear. In regards to entry line, will there be early access VIP that gets you early admin? No, we're not doing early access. We talked about that and the complexity of having a bunch of VIP tickets or early access while people are lining up. We didn't want to go there. There's one set of tickets. There's one. Wanted to make this as easy as possible. So $25 for the ticket. That covers both the Saturday and the Sunday. That literally gets you in to both days of stuff. The only thing that won't get you into is we are planning an after hours kind of show type thing that we haven't revealed full details on yet. That's the only thing the ticket's not going to cover. That'll be a separate thing. But the $25 ticket will get you into Saturday, November 5th, Sunday, November 6th. I guarantee there's going to be a line of people that are going to be lining up in advance of the doors opening at 9 o'clock each day, just like they are. We see that at every event that the Horsemen do. There's a line of people lined up. That's what it's going to be. So we don't have any kind of VIPs or early birds. It's just once you're in line, you're in line. What we will do, however, is allow people to pick up their badges early. So there will be two lines. There will be one line for people that already have a badge and one line for people that have to pick up a badge or buy a badge, like actually get it at the door. So if you're asking me what the fastest way to get in is, it's pre-buy your tickets. And that's whether you do that at legionscon.com or at the October ToyCon New Jersey event, which is like 2 weeks before LegionsCon. We will have a LegionsCon table set up where we will not only be selling passes there, but if you've pre-purchased a pass on the website, you can pick it up that day, that weekend at ToyCon. Additionally, the Friday night before the show, so the show starts on Saturday, November 5th. On Friday, November 4th, we're going to have a period of probably like 3 hours or so where if you have already bought your ticket, you will be able to go. They'll scan your ticket. When you buy a ticket, you get an email that's going to QR code save that. They will scan that and they will hand you the badge, because that morning on Saturday, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get people with badges in. So we will have a line of people with badges that we can just push right in. And then we will have a second line of people that we have to deal with the transaction. The transaction of, they have to find their email, we scan their thing, hand them a badge, or if they want to actually buy a ticket, we've got to deal with money. That takes longer, so that's going to be a separate line so we don't hold up people that already have their badges. No hot tub, Anthony. Let's see. Going through this. Star, thank you for joining. Howdy, Alexander. Slavin Nitorsky says, just booked a room. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Mindless Focus saying, probably going to be the greatest LegionsCon yet, and the Necronominus wave is going to be the cherry on top. We have not announced the wave that's going to be available, that's going to be pre-ordered that weekend. But come on, we all know what it is, right? Even though we haven't officially said, we've all seen the breakdown. We got Aerithir, Alithia, Poxus. That just leaves one more. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. The fact that it's the fourth Legions Con, Four Horsemen, that's super cool. That this is the first year that we're doing it the way that we really want, by breaking it out to its own thing. So much is happening here. Let's see. So Star says, I've never been to LegionsCon before. What kind of things are happening throughout the day? Well, I will be honest, Star, whether or not you've been to LegionsCon in the past doesn't really matter, because this one is much different than any we've done in the past. So to give you a sense of the schedule, and we're going to be posting the actual full schedule as we get closer. But what will happen is Saturday, the show is open from 9 to 4. Sunday, it's open from 9 to 3. There's one really large ballroom. That ballroom is where all of the exhibitors will be. Obviously, Full Horseman Studios will have a huge presence there. The Legions Con show figures that you've been seeing of the Furious Four and the Unknown One, those will be in that room. Additionally, all of the exhibitors will be in that room as well. So let me go to my screen again here really quick. And I'm going to go back to the LegionsCon website. So again, the LegionsCon website is your source for all this information. But if you check this out, you click up here where it says guests, you'll see the list of everyone that we have involved. And it's an incredibly impressive list. It is a who's who for the Mythic Legions community. Artists, 3D sculptors and printers, photographers, customizers, independent toy companies, part of our little mini independent toy creator showcase. That's the kind of the show within a show. Tons of cool stuff. So all of these exhibitors, they will be there. They will have tables set up where you can either see their artwork, because a lot of the customizers aren't even selling. They're literally just there exhibiting. I always say that LegionsCon is part toy show, part art exhibit. There will be plenty of people, selling stuff. So there'll be a ton of products to buy, to see, to enjoy. That will all be there. Additionally, besides all of these great exhibitors, we are also going to have a number of breakout rooms. So there are going to be 4 breakout rooms, Star, that you're going to be able to go throughout the day. 2 of them are going to be like intimate workshops. The breakout rooms hold maybe like 40 people or so in them. So not huge, nice intimate little group where throughout the day, we're going to have different creators that are in these rooms based on the schedule. You'll see the schedule in advance, and they'll be doing workshops on customizing, photography, 3D printing, art, whatever. There's going to be a variety. Our goal is to really allow you some time to sit in a more intimate setting and engage with some of these creators. And exactly what they're going to do is up to them. Some of them may do live tutorials. Some of them may just, answer questions and hang out. It's really going to be up to those creators based on that schedule. But it's going to be kind of a unique opportunity for you to hang out and spend some time with them. When we did the second LegionsCon, the virtual LegionsCon back in 2020, one of the things we did at the start of that was we had a bunch of breakout rooms where all these different artists and creators had breakout rooms where they just virtually hosted people and answered questions and engaged in the chat. That's kind of what this is going to be, but not virtually in a live setting. So that's super cool. One of the other breakout rooms is for the independent toy creators. So I just mentioned the independent toy creator showcase. There's a number of companies on our list that are small toy companies. They're going to be there, just like Legions was a grassroots, original IP that was built from the ground up to create this amazing community. We wanted to bring in some other independent creators to, give them some time to engage with our incredible community as well. So there's going to be a breakout room that's just for them. They'll have tables in the main venue hall as well, but they'll be able to do Q&A sessions and so forth in that breakout room. Additionally, the fourth breakout room is going to be totally open. So that breakout room, we're not scheduling anything. That is for you. If you want a place to just get away from kind of the chaos of the main show, you want to just sit down and hang out with a number of other Legions fans, maybe play a game, maybe play some Dungeons and Dragons, maybe play some cards. I don't know. Do some popping and swapping, do some trading, just hanging out, enjoying each other's company. That's what that fourth room is for. So we're going to have space for people just to enjoy themselves. And super cool. I was answering my friend Wyatt's question the other day, or comment the other day, about hanging out in the hotel after hours and enjoying conversation and drinks. Last year, we did that in the lobby of a Days Inn where we were all staying. This year, that breakout room is going to be open 24 hours. So as long as we all behave and aren't too loud, we'll be able to hang out there and enjoy each other's company. And that's a big part of what LegionsCon is about, is enjoying people's company. It's about the people, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. So that's all stuff that's going on. Our goal is to really give you 2 full days of content that you can enjoy, engaging with the community, certainly looking at the exhibits, buying stuff, going to the workshops, learning new things. It's going to have quite a bit of stuff to do over the course of those 2 days. Let's see here. I'm scrolling back. Legion's Lair will be ready to party. Yeah, the Legion's Lair guys are going to be there. They'll be doing some broadcasting. That's as well. Can I play the banjo in the background for you? So this is I don't know if it's in tune. This is a banjolele, so it's actually strung like a banjolele, not just like a banjo. Yeah, it's not in tune. Yeah, it's really not in tune. So I'm not going to sit there and tune this on a broadcast, but maybe next time I'll plan better and I'll actually tune it. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Stephen, for PowerCon, will Four Horsemen be bringing product or just displaying? Stephen, this is not a PowerCon broadcast. This is about LegionsCon. I know you can confuse the two. LegionsCon. But I will answer your question. Yes, we will be bringing product. We will not just be displaying. There will be product there. Not as much as at LegionsCon, mind you, but it will not just be a display. I just booked and I'm so ready for LegionsCon. Going to rack up some extra money because it's going to be expensive, but also worth it. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely not an inexpensive weekend. And brings me to a question or a comment. And I've seen people, especially when we showed off the LegionsCon show version figures, I've seen some people say like, hey, do you think it's worth it to spend X amount of dollars to go to the show just to get the figures? And I emphatically will tell them, no, it is not. I don't care where you're coming from. If you're going to fly in to LegionsCon only to get the figures, save yourself the time and money. You will be able to buy them. There's going to be, after LegionsCon, there will be a small number on Legion Shop because it's run by the same people, obviously, that run LegionsCon. The standard editions will be on Store Horsemen. Or if you're impatient, you can certainly get them on eBay for what I'm sure will be a little markup. You don't come to the show just for the figures. The figures are the icing on the cake. It's made me really happy when people ask this question to see those who have been in past years absolutely say it is totally worth going, not just for the figures, for the community. That's a huge part of it. I was talking to my friend Walter, obviously Walter Hagen, creator of the Mythic Legions Cabal, earlier today, and I was telling him I was going to live stream, and he said, hey, make sure you talk about the interactions and the people and the importance of that, not just the stuff to buy. And he's totally right. that was my favorite part of last year. I mentioned that Days In where we were all hanging out. That was a huge part of the event last year for me. I'm gonna bring up a picture that I really like here. This is something. So there's let me share this while I'm doing it so you can see where I am. So I'm actually on Full Horseman. I'm on sourcehorseman.com. I'm in the blog. I'm in the behind the scenes category. So there's actually a blog article in here, behind the scenes, recapping Mythic Weekend 2021. And this article here talks all about last year. It talks about Intern for a Day. Yes, information on this year's Intern for a Day is coming very soon. It talks about GCon, and it talks certainly about LegionsCon. But one of the cool things, here's a picture of a number of us, myself, Nikki, Oberon, and Eric, all hanging out in the lobby at the Days In. But this was the picture in question that I really wanted to show. This photo right here, this is all of us at Mother's Ale House after the Saturday of the show. A whole bunch of us went out, hung out, kind of took over the back area of that that establishment and had a great time. Like after this, we were there for hours. And after this, we all went back to the Days In and continued hanging out and having fun. This is a huge part of LegionsCon. You come to LegionsCon to be around this amazing community. There's literally no other place that you can go where you are going to see this amount of Legions creators, this amount of Legions content and artwork in one spot. So if you are into this community, and I'm not saying that you have to be someone who's been in the community since day one. There are a number of people that went to LegionsCon for the first time last year that were casual fans, and they left that event passionate about this line because we all know the toys are incredible. They're super, super cool. But being around all these creators, hanging out and talking to the horsemen and just being in that environment is incredibly exciting. So yes, it is worth making the trip for the entire experience. And the figures that you will have access to, that is literally the icing on the cake. So it will be expensive. That's why we show the stuff so early. One of the complaints we heard last year, we showed the Sir Gerard figure from last year a little bit later, where we showed it kind of close to the actual con itself, and it was legitimately because we didn't have it in hand yet. This year we planned better. We made sure we had the prototypes all photographed so we could show them to everyone well in advance, 6 months before the show, so everyone could make their plans and decide if they wanted to come down. Curtis, hello. Going backwards always jumps me to the most recent ones. Yep. No star. Those are not just the core. I mean, this one should be actually in tune. There you go. Not just for show. Okay. Information and entertainment today, right? I'm going to look at this con like an art exhibit, I think. It's my first Legions con, and I'm just a dude liking Mythic Legions, so I don't know what to expect. Yeah, I mean, I was hanging out last year for a few minutes with George. You know George from Four Horsemen Studios, from Four Horsemen O'Clock. It was actually his first time at LegionsCon last year, and we were walking around, and he looked somewhat dumbfounded. And I said, George, what's going on? And he's like, I don't understand the show. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, all these tables of this amazing stuff, and people aren't selling it. Like, he's so used to the concept of a toy show where literally anything on display is for sale. So the idea that people would travel to this as an exhibitor, set up all this stuff just to show it really, really surprised him. That's a huge part of LegionsCon. I do think we're going to see a lot of artists this year, including some last year that exhibited but didn't sell. Probably going to see a little bit more of a mix. I think people, they were excited about the opportunity to have some of their art not only shown but maybe out there and taken away with fellow fans. But I think that we're going to see more of those artists selling a couple pieces this year as well. But of course, there'll just be some. It's not a requirement. People, if they just want to exhibit, that's totally up to them. But approaching it like an art exhibit, I think makes a lot of sense, although there will be plenty of stuff to dig into your wallet for. Star, I get confused by all the cons. LegionsCon is the official Four Horsemen con, correct? Yes, it is. So LegionsCon started 4 years ago. At the time, started by myself and Joe Viteri. It was started totally fan focused. This was before I was working full time with Four Horsemen Studios. So we started it as a fan con. It actually started as an after party, like just an after hours meetup after one of Joe's other toy shows, ToyCon New Jersey. It's gotten bigger. Obviously 2020, we did it virtually. Last year was the first year that we had a show figure and we did it bigger. You saw the pictures. But it is the official con. This is, it's in New Jersey. I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, can you do LegionsCon in California or Texas or Toronto? That's not going to happen. Four Horsemen Studios does want to start going further away from the East Coast kind of haunts that we go to. But there is a logistical challenge with that. When people see the spread of product at ToyCon or ZoloCon or LegionsCon, they think, can you come out to California and do that? Well, all these local shows that we do around here, we drive literally an RV to those shows with all that product. It's like 3 pallets worth of product. So the logistics of getting all that product across the country and all of us across the country, it's very, very challenging. So while we want to do other shows, people were just asking about PowerCon. We will have a presence at PowerCon. We will have product at PowerCon. But LegionsCon, the event where we pull out all the stops, where the entire studio team will be there, an incredible amount of product will be there, and then all of these creators will be there. That is going to be in New Jersey. New Jersey is home. New Jersey is home for Four Horsemen Studios. So just like Celebration is going to be where Disney has a home, LegionsCon is going to be where Four Horsemen Studios has the home. So Greg saying LegionsCon is not just about the figures. It's so much more than that. It's what makes the line great. Absolutely, Greg. That's 100% true. Like I said, the amount of people last year that came out as casual fans and got super, super excited for the event and for the line, that was super cool. The LegionsCon vibe is incredible. Thank you very much. LegionsCon's like a Cabal family reunion. For a lot of us, we'll be seeing people in person. That is true. It's also a great way. There's a lot of people that are in the Legions community that aren't necessarily in the Cabal. There's a lot of people that just don't like Facebook. So there are going to be people from even outside of the Cabal, many people from outside of the Cabal that will be there as well. One of the cool things last year was seeing people that were hanging out together. There's a number of them that I have in my head. And I remember at one point they were together all weekend. And I was like, did you guys know each other before this weekend? And they had engaged, they had spoken on, the Cabal on Facebook and so forth, but they wouldn't have considered themselves friends. And they literally hung out all weekend. And I've already seen them talking about meeting up again this year. That's really cool. That's really special. John saying, can't wait to attend. It will be my first time in the US. That's awesome as well. We do have people traveling internationally. It's why when I see people say like, oh, it's a 10-hour drive, that's way too far for me. That's a decision you have to make. And I'm absolutely not going to make anyone feel bad for not wanting to make the trek. But when we have people flying in from literally all over the world, certainly all over the country. It is definitely a decision. You have to make a decision for yourself. Uh, the nice thing about where it is New Jersey is super close to New York. It is quicker to fly into, and I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of the hotel in New Jersey. Oh, what the heck is the name of that hotel? Not hotel, excuse me. I'm thinking of the airport in New Jersey. Let me see. Help me out. What's the airport in New Jersey? Newark, New Jersey. So it's easier to fly. It's closer to flying to Newark. But JFK in New York City is not far from this venue. Where we are, this venue is in Secaucus, New Jersey. It's really close to like the New York, New Jersey border. So JFK, New York is a major, major travel hub. So no matter where you're coming from, you probably can find some flights that are somewhat reasonable into that hub. So yeah, John, super excited. Thank you for making the international trip. Last year was my first time at LegionsCon. Hopefully you're coming back. I was not going to sing Over the Rainbow, although I used to know how to play it. I haven't played it in a really long time, so I don't remember the chords. Yeah, the con was great, but the after hour stuff at Mother's in the lobby is where the real fun happened. So I agree with you. What we're trying to do this year is make the con even better. More stuff to do. Last year, we were still struggling with some of the, stuff with COVID. Not that COVID is gone and not a concern. Of course, it still is. But last year, we only had access to the space we were in for one day, which is why we only did a one-day show. This year, having it both days, set up for vendors will be Friday night. So Saturday morning, we can all hit it fresh, greet everybody. We can do the breakout sessions, do all of that stuff. That I think the con itself is going to be wicked, wicked cool this year to add on to all that after hours stuff. Let's see. So this is a great comment. Says, I've seen the Mythic Legions community as a really tight and together. I feel a bit like some kind of an intruder being there with those that have been diehards since day one. So I will tell you, you do not need to feel like that. This community is so welcoming. And the diehards from day one are actually a very small number of people. There were only like 1,400 people that actually supported that first Kickstarter. So when you look at the size of the community today, it's many, many, many times bigger than that. So those diehards from day one are only a small percentage. And I'll be honest with you, most of those diehards do not have, and I say most because I'm not going to speak for everybody, all the ones I know do not have any of this opinion like, well, we're better than you because we're an OG and we've been around forever. We love this community growing. It's what we're all about, whether you are just getting into it. Hell, when people come up to these shows, one of the coolest things that I get to do, Star, is at all the shows, not just LegionsCon. When we set up a table, I don't generally handle money and do all that stuff. They put me first in line to table, and I'm literally like the greeter. So I love it because when we do a show, there's a line of Legions fans, right? And then you'll have other toy fans that don't know what Legions even are. And they come over just because there's this crazy line. And they're like, what the heck is going on? There's something special happening here. I want a piece of it. And they'll say, what's this all about? And I get to say, like, okay, well, this is, a fantasy line called Mythic Legions by Four Horsemen Studios right here in New Jersey. Have you ever heard of it? And they're like, no. And I will pull figures out of the cases of display and I will talk to them about it. I will let them hold them. I will pop them apart. That is one of my favorite things to do. There was one person I met at ZoloCon last year who I did that with. I talked to this gentleman for probably half an hour or so, answered his questions, popped stuff apart, showed him the line. He ended up buying, I don't know, 2 or 3 figures and like a wings pack. He came back, he got his stuff, he left, came back in like an hour later to buy more. And I'm like, oh, you're back. And he's like, yeah, man, I went out in my car. opened these up and we're playing with them, and they're some of the coolest toys I've ever seen in my life. I needed to come in and get more. That kind of stuff is so much fun. So don't feel like you're encroaching on anybody's territory. Most of the people in that venue are not day one OGs or anything silly like that. They all came into this line at different stages. So you are incredibly welcome, and we are thrilled to have you. Yeah, Lady Bear, again, we want to go further. We want to get out to some other shows. We've just got to figure out which ones make the most sense and what kind of presents we can have. People already offering rides, saying, hey, I'm 10 minutes from the airport. I can bring anybody in. That's incredible. Adaith, the unknown one, looks fantastic. Thank you very much. As far as Hook Me Up, we'll have them at the show. They are available, and I can bring that up right now since someone just mentioned Adaith. So this was added to the Four Horsemen website. So his bio page is up if anyone wants to go check that out. Scroll down, you can see all the pictures here. But this character, this is the day one show figure. So this will be available on Saturday, November 5th. It'll be $50 at the show, limited to 2 per person. As Bill and I talked about on my Mythic Conversation show this week, this particular figure at LegionsCon, the show version, will come with the bonus head and neck. That's skeleton head and neck. So the standard version that will be released later will not include those. And yes, I know a lot of people are like, well, what if the factory messes up like they did with Sir Gerard? Trust me, that was a one-time mistake. That is not going to happen again. But it's super cool. That skeleton head, as cool as it looks, I mean, that's obviously a pretty common part. It's a super cool paint job. But what we tried to do was, give something cool for the show while also making sure that there was a standard version that people that couldn't go to the show can get access to. And that's one of the questions that I see people ask is, why are they doing these show figures? I mean, I'm not going to pull any punches. We want people to come to the show. We know that when people come to the show and they experience this community, they are more into the line. We want to see them. We want to hang out with fans. It is as fun as this is for all the Legionnaires. Trust me, it is just as much fun for everyone in the studio who puts our time and hard work into these figures. So having stuff that's really, really cool that fans have access to when they come to the shows, that's important. You'll notice we don't use new parts. We aren't sculpting brand new things for the shows. We're reusing stuff from the library. So as cool as the figures are, it's not like you're getting brand new stuff. Still super cool, right? Every time I touch this, it drives me way too far back, and then I gotta go scroll back. John, thanks for putting on a great and enticing event. You are very welcome, my friend. Sing us the Ballad of Sir Gerard. It's not written yet. Gonna make the road trip, 14 hours to LegionsCon, Curtis. Thank you very much. We're flying into Philly for a couple days, then heading up to New Jersey. That's absolutely right. I know a lot of people. I just mentioned the proximity to New York. A lot of people I know that are doing that. And, on that note, let me show you this here. So I already talked about the venue, right? So this is a Google map of 350 Lightning Way. So 350 Lightning Way, that's the La Quinta in Secaucus, New Jersey. So, what you can see here is right across the street, there's a Bonefish Grill. And if I actually drop this little guy right here, let's see. So this is street view. So where's the La Quinta? So here's the La Quinta right here. So this is the venue where we at. And I will admit this street view looks horrible. It makes it look like a super dumpy area. It's actually not. But this is the La Quinta that we're going to be. So we look right across the street over here. The Bonefish Grill is literally right here. So it's a very, very short walk, and there's this Bonefish Grill. I think the Bonefish Grill is going to be this year's Mother's Ale House because it is so close. You can be parked. There's a huge parking garage at the La Quinta Inn. I think that a lot of people, what they're going to do is they're going to come over here. They're going to grab stuff to eat. And there's a lot of other stuff in this area. Let me get back out of this. But you can see around here, there's an Olive Garden kind of right near there. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings. There's actually like an American Dream Mall that's like 2.5 miles away. If you look that up, American Dream Mall, there's like a water park in there and a Nickelodeon Center. There's all kinds of stuff. So this is not like last year. If you came to last year's event, last year where we are, it was the Wayne PAL. So PAL Police Athletic League. It's like a gymnasium. So last year's event, there's really nothing around it. This Mother's Ale House that we talk about was a pub that was around the corner. It was the only thing really around there. The hotel that most of us stayed at was like 15 minutes away or something, or 10 minutes away. This, I think, is going to be cool. One of the reasons we chose this location is because there's so much right around it. So the goal is that you can pull in and you should not have to go too far. If you do have to drive, it's going to be hopefully a couple minutes, because there are some highways involved here. But there's a lot of stuff right around here. Certainly you can walk to that Bonefish Grill. I think that's going to be very, very convenient. In that proximity, like I said, to New York City, if people want to make a little vacation about it, they want to do a couple days at LegionsCon and then spend a few days in New York City, that makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah, Tom's saying I only live an hour away and I got a room for the weekend, so I don't have to drive every day. That makes a lot of sense. While providing a handout laying out the time schedule for the workshops and breakouts, I absolutely will. Well, a handout. No, I probably won't do a handout. We will have boards up. I'm also trying to do like an app that people can download, but also the website. Like eventually what will happen is, let me go back to the website here. So even if you just bring up LegionsCon.com while you're at the show, right now on the website, it says full schedule of events to come. As we get closer, I'm going to publish on the website all of the breakout rooms and what's happening each day. I will tell you this, that the show opens at 9 o'clock. The breakout sessions won't start until 11. So the way that they're going to work is there's going to be a breakout session from 11 to 11:50. And then the next breakout session starts at 12 noon. So there'll be 10 minutes of time between each breakout session. So the presenters can switch over, so people can go to the bathroom or whatever. So you're going to know well in advance what the sessions are. So you can plan your days and say, okay, where do I want to be when? And they don't start until 2 hours after doors open. So that should give you some time to get in the venue and do what you want to do. I will also tell you this is the first time I've said this. It's going to be 2 ways to get into the venue. So when you come in there's only one line to get in, I should say. Once you get checked in, you're going to have 2 options. Do you want to go into the main hall and have access to every single booth except for 2? There's only 2 booths you won't be able to get access to. You can probably figure out which ones they are: Four Horsemen Studios and the LegionsCon figures. If you want those, we know those are going to be heavily trafficked. We're going to have a separate line for those 2 tables. The reason for that is we don't want everybody to get stuck just in that line where all of the exhibitors are like, well, we're just waiting here. We are going to have a lot of these show figures. They are limited to 2 per person for each day. So the Unknown one is 2 per person on Saturday. The Furious 4 is 2 per person on Sunday. We are going to have enough that if you want your 2 and you have a ticket to the event, you will get your 2 figures. So this is going to be your choice. If you want to wait in the line and hit up the Four Horsemen table and the LegionsCon table first and then do the rest of the show, you can do that. If you're like, I want to do everything else first, I want to see all the other stuff, then I'll swing around and get those when the line dies down, you can do that as well. We're trying to give people some options. So, there will be lines for that. There always is, but we've got it scheduled in a way that hopefully we can manage that. And then the hallway that we're going to line people up, that's where some of the breakout rooms are. So then those breakout rooms will open officially at 11. But all of this stuff, all of the schedule, that's going to be announced well in advance so everybody can plan ahead of time. And I will also, by the way, in advance release, just like I did last year, a table layout so you can see that it'll be a showroom floor layout so you can look at it and see every single table and who is where so you know where you may want to hit. So a Facebook user whose name doesn't show up says, Star, I haven't been here from the beginning either, and trust me, that doesn't matter one bit. At first, I thought I had no reason to attend LegionsCon because I thought that if you're not a star in the community, like a customizer, artist, or sculptor, you had no reason to show up. Absolutely not. Like I said, it's you go there for the camaraderie. You go there to see the stuff, to be a part of it. I don't paint on canvas, but I go to art museums. I love enjoying and seeing that stuff. I love being around other people that may enjoy that stuff. I go to a concert. I'm not, despite the fact that I was just playing music, I'm no longer playing a band or anything. But I go to music because I enjoy that and I want to be around a crowd that also enjoys the band I'm going to see. LegionsCon is all about that. So you do not have to be a rock star in the community. You do not have to be a customizer. There's going to be a lot of tables selling custom parts and showing custom parts. If you go and you have no interest in doing customs, but you like Legions, you'll at least appreciate the artwork. And there's plenty of other stuff there as well. There's vendors that are selling Legions and non-Legions. We have a number of vendors there that are going to have products other than Legions. We also have those independent toy creators like Formo Toys and Plunderlings and Fresh Monkey Fiction and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. All of these people are going to be there. They're all going to have tables. You're going to see a lot of that really, really cool stuff. Let's see if I forgot anyone I don't want to leave anybody out. That's always one of my great fears. So Sparrow Studios, I just mentioned. They're the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Formo Toys, I mentioned. Creative Beast Studios, that's one I did forget somebody. They do those dinosaur figures. They'll be there. They were there last year as well. Plunderlings, I just mentioned. So yeah, very, very cool stuff there. Eric LeBron saying, making the trip even all the way from California is worth every penny once you're amongst all the amazing, welcoming people in the community. Thank you very, very much, Eric. You may have seen Eric's picture earlier when I was talking about the community, and I showed a picture of hanging out with Eric and a couple others in the lobby. Very, very cool. And he's coming all the way from California, confirming it is worth it. Last year was my first time, and I just learned about Mythic Legions. I've been hooked since then. Great people, conversations. Man, this community is awesome. I'm shy by nature, and I just lost that comment. Let me go back for it. Hold on a second. Wow, got a lot of stuff here. A lot of comments. Okay, I got to get through these comments. I'm shy by nature and have a hard time introducing myself to people, but I felt super welcomed and at home at the con. What a cool comment. Thank you so much. That warms my heart to hear. LegionsCon is in Secaucus, New Jersey, Star. If you check out legionscon.com, all of that information is there. Yeah, give the Bonefish Grill guys a heads up to be prepared. We trust that's already on our list. Let's see. So I'm going through all of these. Yeah, I mean, I think there might even be, besides banks, there might be a ATM in the hotel as well, but those things tend to run out of money. So, okay. So, any other questions here? So, a lot of great comments talking about this. Raymond, flying from Puerto Rico, thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, so perceived velocity, great comment here. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I used to post on the Four Horsemen's old forum. I want to attend the con, so I can be part of the community again. That's a perfect reason. As someone that was on those old Four Horsemen forums as well, I totally get not wanting to be on Facebook. That's a legit thing. And, that's why something like this is so important. It's why right now I'm broadcasting this not only to the Mythic Legions Cabal, but to my YouTube channel as well. So people that aren't in that group for whatever reason have access to this content. The Mythic Legions, I'm literally wearing a Cabal t-shirt, is a huge part of Mythic Legions and a huge part of LegionsCon, but it's not the only attendees we are going to have there. So whether you're in the Cabal or not, you are still part of the Mythic Legions family. You can be, you can not want to be on Facebook and still be part of the mentality that is surrounding the Cabal. So we're happy to have you there. Okay. Going back. Be wrapping this up soon. People saying that, Eric, you are a rock star in the community. So there's a good comment. I can say that Jeremy, Emil, Walter, Chris, and others were all approachable and so willing to engage and discuss the mythos, customizing, etc. Yeah, I told people that last year in advance of the show. I said, look, I'm going to be crazy busy all weekend. Do not think that means I don't want to talk to you. If you see me there, come introduce yourself. Let's have a conversation. Like, do not be shy. Do not be afraid. Every one of us that is in that room are a Legions fan. Like, we are literally there because we love Legions. You are there because you love Legions. Let's share that. Whether where someone is behind a table as an exhibitor or in front of a table as an attendee, we're all there for the same reasons. That's to share the love of this line. So let's engage. Let's talk. Do not be shy. Hearing that everyone is approachable does not surprise me because this community really is amazing. Road tripping with the My Wife is Going to Kill Me crew from Michigan is going to be an adventure in itself. I do not doubt that it is going to be absolutely insane. I guarantee you. They had a great one last year, a great trip last year. I'm sure this year will be full of all kinds of hijinks because those guys are going to be on an absolute toy high as they head to LegionsCon, where their tribute figures, the Furious Four, will be making their debut. Raymond, I hope you'll accept credit cards. So LegionsCon does not accept credit cards. I do know Four Horsemen Studios table will accept credit cards. That is really an individual vendor preference, whether or not they want to accept it. A lot of the vendors are very, very small companies. A lot of them aren't even companies. A lot of them are just artists that are there. So I wouldn't expect that everyone is going to accept credit cards. Cash is certainly king at this type of event, but I do know that Four Horsemen Studios will accept credit cards. Yeah, Eric's saying it's usually cash only. They actually changed that, Eric, somewhat recently. Very cool. So I think that's all the content I wanted to go over. We talked about the hotel. Like I said, the hotel is not sold out. So if you want to stay at the hotel, the code for the hotel is good for the Friday night and the Saturday night. If you are, say that you're flying in and you're leaving on the Monday because you're like, I don't want to get a late flight on Sunday after the show. I'm going to head out on Monday. So you need to stay at the hotel on Sunday. You can do that. The code doesn't work. So you would literally have to book 2 reservations. Kind of a pain in the butt. Might actually be easier if you call them for this and have them work it out with you on the phone. But the takeaway here is that the venue, the rooms at the La Quinta that are part of the discounted LegionsCon block are not sold out. They're getting close though. If you're on the fence, it's fully refundable, by the way. It's fully refundable up until like, I don't know, the day before or something. So it's not like you're locked in. If you book the room and you end up not being able to go, you could always cancel it if need be. So that's my 2 cents there. Any lobby sales? I'm going to encourage no. And the reason for that is very clearly that we have a lot of vendors that are spending money and time to be there to be a part of this. So if I see people, I can't stop what they do in their rooms, but if people are outside trying to make sales, I will ask them not to do that, because quite honestly, it's disrespectful to everyone that paid to be in the room. If you want to be part of it, if you want to actually be there doing stuff, I ask that you actually be an exhibitor. Now, that being said, people that have a couple figures that are there to like do some swapping and trading, that's totally cool. That's why we have that room. I said we have a room where people can do that type of stuff. But if people are going, if the people have a box of Legions that are trying to hawk in the lobby, we will shut that down. Dorklayer says, I'm going to start auto withdrawing savings like a Christmas fund, but for LegionsCon this year. That makes a lot of sense. Very, very cool. So we're at just about an hour, just under an hour. I'm going to close this down. Again, I've seen a lot of people asking, talking about the venue being sold out. Not true. Asking if it's worth making the trip for LegionsCon. Absolutely. The people are great. The community's great. All the cool toys is the icing on the cake. So I just wanted to jump on and answer some of those questions. I'm going to jump off now. Everyone, thank you so much for checking this out. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope to see you at LegionsCon in November. And once again, any questions that you have, if you want to stay up to date on this, the website, www.legionscon.com, that is going to be where you can get all this information. The link to the venue hotel, when the schedules get posted, that will be there. I'll do more of these in the months leading up to the show to answer more questions. Of course, you can always reach out to me directly as well. I'm always happy to answer them to you. Have a good weekend, everyone. Talk to you soon. I'll see you at LegionsCon 2022.